With the cycling transfer window about to open, the rumour mill is in full swing, but one rider that will be staying with their current team is Biniam Girmay. The Eritrean signed a 1-year extension with Intermarché-Wanty, who look to build on a successful year so far. Girmay said to us that he was happy to secure himself a deal for 2026, being promised sole leadership of the team and choice of his calendar. With a funding increase next year, Intermarché will be looking to keep their core riders winning and see improvement from the likes of Noah Peeters, who hasn't had the season that some fans have expected. Hello everyone, Taylorson here and welcome to episode 10 of MyRider. We are finishing off the Tour de Wallonie in this episode that we started in episode 9, and here is the general classification if you want to jog your memory. Filippo Ganna leads the way ahead of Wout van Aert and Josh Tarling in third. Stefan Kung, Tadej Pogacar, Victor Kampenaerts, etc. will be looking to get themselves into that top 3. Meanwhile, Jonas Rutsch is just over 30 seconds outside of the top 10. So that will be our goal for the general classification. And we begin today's episode with a hilly challenge for Jonas Rutsch and all of the GC competitors.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Belgian Ardennes. Today, the riders will encounter difficulties that they know well, because they will battle it out on roads usually taken during Liège-Bastogne-Liège. However, what sets today apart is that some climbs will be ridden in the opposite direction. If that might cause some to lose their bearings, nevertheless, the best punchers remain the favourites for the stage.
Guys, you've got a punchy day ahead of you. The final stretch is very hilly. The Col de Stockeur, 20 kilometres from the finish, with its narrow road, will surely be decisive. You'll have to be up front at the foot. Good race, guys.
We're underway then, and we have Taco van der Hoorn in the breakaway just covering off the moves, and it's a pretty decent group that have gone up the road with us. The likes of Guillaume Boivin in the King of the Mountains jersey, Jonas Abrahamsson is up there as well, and the number of riders is fairly decent. It's 6. I don't imagine it will go all the way, but we have been given 6.5 minutes approaching the first intermediate sprint. I don't think we'll be the quickest sprinter. Guillaume Boivin has a much better kick than us, but we're sitting in the wheels and we're going to try and get round him and use up that energy to the maximum degree, and we just about don't get there. It was everybody throwing the bike to the line, and in the end we somehow finish 4th. But Van der Hoorn is not the guy that we really need to finish high up. It's Biniam Girmay, because he is locked in a battle with the guy that's just flown off to his right in the green jersey, Jasper Philipsen. The gap between them is minuscule, and we should be able to get the jersey back if we have a couple of good sprints in these final stages, but we are up against one of the best sprinters in the world peloton at the moment in Jasper Philipsen, and he's got a lead out to boot. We're going to stick on his wheel and see what sort of scraps we can get. Looks like we're a little bit late with the sprint, and 3 riders are off the front, including the likes of Christoph ahead of us. We're not going to catch those, but we are going to beat Philipsen, which is the only rider we need to be concerned about at the moment. 10th place for us, and Philipsen crosses the line 12th, so only 2 points gained, but that could be a massive 2 points in the way the green jersey goes. Another jersey up for grabs today is the King of the Mountains jersey, and at the moment Taco van der Hoorn is doing exactly what he needs to do to get into that polka dot jersey at the end of the day, at least on this first climb, because he's attacked away early on, expecting the late attacks from everybody else in the group. He has gone for it early, tried to anticipate, and so far it has worked. It looks like they're going to reel him in, but they have wasted plenty of red, and we are just sitting ready to go now. We're going to give them the opportunity to try and race us to the line, but I don't think anybody will have the energy that Van der Hoorn has. Indeed not. Abrahamsson can't quite get there, and Taco van der Hoorn takes a fairly simple victory over the top of the first climb. Hopefully more of those to come. Second climb of the day, and Samuele Zoccarato has copied our flow. He's decided to go with an early attack, but this time Pinarello is keeping him on a short leash, which is going to help out this group behind. And look at Zoccarato struggle up this climb. Now it is going to be a battle to see who has the best kick on the steep gradients. We're going to go early and see if we can get a little bit of a gap, but Pinarello is on our wheel, as is Jonas Abrahamsson, and that's the guy I fear the most, but we've held them off. So that is a very good sign for Taco van der Hoorn and our King of the Mountain hopes. Another win for the Dutchman. into the next intermediate sprint, and again we've decided to go early with Van der Hoorn, see what we can do, but the group has reeled us in. Again we've got full energy and now they're going on the attack, so we're going to sit in the wheels, just about try and get some slipstream off all of these guys. We just about cling on, and that could be massive because we're in behind Abrahamsen, and that is fairly regulatory for Taco Van der Hoorn once again. Nice job. But as I say, in the intermediate sprints, it's not Taco that we are worried about. It is this guy, Biniam Girmay, and we're watching Jasper Philipsen just get a little bit caught behind Tadej Pogacar, so we're going to try and launch this one early, get in the wheels of a couple of sprinters if we can. It's very messy, and we're in the wheel of Jordi Meus at the moment. He's managed to get an aeroplane up in the sky. We've gone flying past him, and Philipsen is just glued to our wheel. He knows that we're his main enemy, and he's going to stick to us for the rest of this race, I fear. No fear for Taco Van der Hoorn up front though, because his group have 4.5 minutes with 40 kilometres to go. Jonas Abrahamsen is going early for this King of the Mountains point, but I'm fairly confident with Van der Hoorn. We don't have that much red energy, but I don't think the rest of the group will have much either. In the end, Abrahamsen, with his superior stamina, will start to come into play, and this is the first climb that he's won. So I'm slightly concerned now that this is the end of our little miracle run of King of the Mountain wins. But we love a trier on the Taylorson channel, and we are going to go again, dust ourselves off and try and win this next climb, the Col de Stocco. It's one of the most famous climbs on the Liège-Bastogne-Liège route. Of course not Liège-Bastogne-Liège this time, but if it was, the breakaway would have a great chance because we've got 3 minutes 24 with just 22 kilometres to go. It looks like Ghana has given us a golden ticket to try and win this stage, and we have thinned the group out. We are looking to get some of the guys off the wheel, and indeed we are trying to do that. Round this right-hander, Boivin has been distanced along with a couple of other riders, and now it's the three big boys up front. It's Pinarello, it's Jonas Abrahamsen, and it is us. Let's see if we can win this climb, but now my mind is starting to flick towards the potential for a stage win. So we're going to press on, see if we can drop the bigger sprinters who will beat us on a flat finish, and try and contest this climb. Once again, we're going to go early, see what we can do. Pinarello is in the wheel, so is Jonas Abrahamsen. Hopefully we can split the two, or even beat them both. Abrahamsen not going round us, and on the bike throw, we just about get second place behind Pinarello. That could be massive for the polka dot jersey. We'll see how it plays out for the rest of the stage. And the group with the best hand of cards at the moment is the breakaway. We've got three riders up front. Zocorato, Fedorov and Boivin have all been dropped. They will be reeled in by the peloton soon, which is over 3 minutes behind this leading group. We're not interested in the King of the Mountains jersey though, and we look like we're going to get dropped as Pinarello and Abrahamsen go clear. They are now going to contest the stage win between the two of them, and we're going to have to settle for scraps. Just under 5 kilometres remaining for the peloton, but they are chasing a lost cause at the moment because one rider is out front and it is a real engine. It's Jonas Abrahamsen who has dropped Pinarello and is going out on a solo mission at the moment. It's EF trying to control things for Neilson Paulus, and it's Visma Lease-A-Bike for Wout van Aert and Christophe Laporte, their sprinter. But look at this man in the custard helmet and the red kit up front. Jonas Abrahamsen rounds the left-hander, rounds the right-hander, comes under the kilometre to go banner, and he's got time to think about his celebration here. That's all he's going to be thinking about. Winning the stage from the breakaway, which never looked likely at the start of this stage, but the Norwegian does it once again. A win at the Tour de France in real life, a win from the breakaway in MyRider as EF trying to launch Neilson Paulus on the left-hand side of the road. He's going to pick up the second position. Pinarello and Van der Hoorn were caught by the peloton and passed, but Paulus picks up second and the rest of the group comes in behind. Your winner, Jonas Abrahamsen of Uno X Mobility. So Jonas Abrahamsen continues his prolific streak from the breakaways. He wins by well over a minute on the peloton, but that doesn't mean much for the general classification in the grand scheme of things. Paulus crossing the line second, Christophe Laporte third and Tom Pidcock fourth. The rest of the big favourites crossed with each other, which means in the general classification, Filippo Ganna still leads the way. Wout van Aert second, Tarling third. A couple of minor changes in the lower end of the top 10, which we are after with Jonas Ruch. And in the points classification, we are just 12 points behind Jasper Philipsen going into the final stage, which is on the cobbles.
A moment to try everything possible in an attempt to turn the general classification on its head.
Guys, the final portion of the race is out of the ordinary, with a 14-kilometre circuit that is ridden twice. There are 2 cobblestone sectors on the circuit. That makes for a total of 5 kilometres of cobblestone on each lap. It's going to be hectic. Good luck.
Well, I was trying to be clever and get Biniam Girmay in the early breakaway without Philipsen knowing, but he and the rest of the sprinters have followed along, and we are going to have to compete with all of our accomplices to try and get some points off of the green jersey wearer. Off they go for the sprint, and Christoph's got the jump on everybody at the moment. We're just trying to get a draft off somebody, anybody, any being, and we get there on the bike throw ahead of Philipsen. But how far ahead of Philipsen? It is only 2 places. We need more than that if we want to win the green jersey with Girmay. But it looks like the sprinters want to contribute to the pace, and we are doing just that at the moment. It is a very strong group of 11 massive engines on the front, but they are just 33 seconds ahead of the peloton. So we're just trying to press this one on to make sure that we get to the intermediate sprint ahead of the main group. Philipsen has been doing a lot of work, so has John Degenkolb, Mike Turnison, Guillaume Boivin, Frederick Frieson and the rest of the breakaway riders. They have been working well together as a group actually. We've been trying to do as little work as possible in the sections that we don't need to do the work on, just so we can save some energy. But I'm looking to press on here just to make sure we get the points, or get a chance to go at the maximum points, should I say, ahead of this intermediate sprint. So we are going to launch it fairly soon. That 1 kilometre banner is in sight, and we are on a circuit, remember, so we will be doing this all over again to try and win the stage, hopefully with Biniam Girmay. But off we go on the right side, trying to box Philipsen in a little bit, but he comes through on the left. And does he finish ahead of us? He does. And with the effort of getting into the breakaway, Biniam Girmay is hanging on to the peloton, as is Jasper Philipsen, to be fair, but I don't think it's right to go for the stage win with Biniam Girmay. So instead, we've hooked up our second best rider, Laurens Rex, who is a beast on the cobblestones, and we are going for an attack in the final cobbled section. 6 kilometres to go to the finish line. Let's see if he can hold on. The next 2,800 metres of tarmac for Laurens Rex are going to feel like the entire Col de la Loze, because he has got a gap, a distance between himself and the peloton that he has to keep if he wants to win this final stage of the Tour de Wallonie. It's his home race. It's the team's home race, Intermarché-Wanty, who have been so unlucky at this race. So many near misses, so many second places, and is this the chance that they are going to get? 1 kilometre left of this Tour de Wallonie on the final stage, and it's Laurens Rex that has lit up the race. He's gone away solo. Can he hold it to the line? The Belgian on the Belgian team gets out of the saddle and sprints, and has time to raise his arms and win the stage. Laurens Rex, what a ride, what a rider, and let's see if Intermarché-Wanty can keep a hold of him ahead of next season, because he is going to be massive for that team. Wasn't that hard, was it? Laurens Rex wins the final stage, and Intermarché-Wanty finally get that well-deserved win in Wallonie. Rex delivers it, not necessarily Girmay, who I thought would have got us a win by now. He's come super close, but Rex has finally delivered the victory that we so desperately wanted. He wins ahead of Niels Pollitt, Wout van Aert third, Fred Wright fourth, and Stefan Kung finishing in 5th place. But that Wout van Aert result is key, because that moves him into the lead of the general classification on stage placing. Him and Filippo Ganna have the same time, but thanks to the time bonus and stage placings combined, Wout van Aert is the winner of the Tour de Wallonie overall, ahead of Filippo Ganna in second, with Kung taking the final spot on the podium. Jonas Ruch finished in the second group on the road and comes home in GC 16th place overall, which is not a bad ride at all from the big German, considering the competition. But that'll do it for episode 10 of MyRider. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for interacting throughout this series. We've made it to 10 episodes, and hopefully I can get a couple more done, and maybe a season 2 before the next game release. But that is it for today's episode. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment in the comment section below because I like to use them for storylines. So keep those coming in. Have a great day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.